welcome back to the second official podcast that we're doing. This is the, meant to be Three White Guy podcast, but we're thinking about changing our name to something else, because at the moment there's only two of us, and it just seems like it's only going to be two of us from now on. So we'll see what happens. But we are near the end of May now, and we're looking to see how June goes. We're pretty much halfway through the year now, and there's been a lot of things that happened with us in May. We'll touch on that as we go along, but as always, I'm Aidan. Over there's Allan.
Hello, hello.
And let's get cracking on with it. So, May. First thing that really happened in May was, as we mentioned last time, we went to Wembley.
We did go to Wembley, and that was that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was really, really fun.
The non-league finals day, and you actually got to experience the classic Wembley walk.
Yes, which was quite exhilarating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, just walking through, just crowds of, like, you know, obviously different teams that are there to, you know...
Experience the day.
Yeah, that's the word. And it's just something different.
Yeah. To see 2 football matches in one day only for 30 quid as well.
I think the only downside is obviously you have to stay in the stadium all day. You can't obviously leave to go, and obviously people that smoke or vape like myself, you cannot leave. So that's the only downside. You know, you're sitting there like, you know.
Sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem.
But apart from that, you don't really need, if you don't smoke and you don't vape, you don't really have a need to go outside, because you've got the bar inside, you've got food inside. Yeah, you need a bit of money.
Yeah, because I bought a burger. £17.65 it cost me for a burger that is, you know, it was nice. It was a gourmet burger, but it's...
You'd get one of those burgers in, like, the more expensive so-called restaurants for maybe £10, £11, maybe. But was it £17? That is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the drinks at Wembley, like £6, £7 for a pint. It's just absolutely ripping off fans left, right, and centre.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, with us alone in the neutral section, even though games weren't really being neutral, think of how many fans there were in that little section alone. Maybe 2,000-3,000, then an extra 1,000 on top of that for the second game.
Well,
and
didn't it come up on the screen saying it was like 36 or 38,000?
That was only for the second match.
That was just the second match, but
yeah,
the first game was immense.
But could you imagine the amount of money they made off of at least 37,000 fans that day?
Just imagine a full day, a full stadium.
Yeah,
the uproar. You know,
at least one set of fans. Like, say just for example, you go in a group of 4, like we did, and just a standard, like, say you don't drink, even then the drink is like £4.
It's mental.
So imagine the beers between 4 people, like £7 a pint. Well, that's 28 quid just for 1 pint each.
Give or take. But still, no, it's, I think, all in all, it was a good day out, you know, for all of us, you know, me, you, Gary and Lewis. We all had a good time. We all enjoyed ourselves. But, you know, I think the most funniest bit of all was our taxi home from that little station to Watford Junction. That is, I have to say, the best taxi ride I've ever had.
Yeah. You and Gary were already in the car. I was half in the car and the guy just took off. I still had one leg out the door.
I know. I was sitting there going, door, 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 door. And he was coming so close to that car. And I was like, mate, you're going to... Yeah, no.
No.
But yeah, I I think for us, we it was a good day, and I think, what was it? May the 19th
Yeah.
is when I had done a TikTok video because there was a traffic light facing my kitchen. And I just for a laugh, you know, if you don't know my profile, obviously just go on there and just look down for the video that's gone absolutely viral. It's exploded. I think it's like 512,000 views. It is massive. You know, over a silly 10-second TikTok video. You know, and it's strange because I have had Viral Bear, I've had Great British Mems contact me to obviously send it out. They all work with like Lad Bible and TMB and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? Yeah, why not? Some of them told me that I would get some revenue for it as well. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then, yeah, so if anyone on TikTok who's watching my TikTok now, if you've seen the traffic light video, please, by all means, have a look, have a butchers, have a laugh, you know. Even read some of the comments because the comments are hilarious as well. But
I think the most funniest part about that video is when you shout to the kids in the...
Kids, you're going to starve. But yeah, no, also... Just to see a silly video like that, it's a genuine silly video that's exploded.
The video is so stupid, yet
It's
people are so entertained by it.
It's entertained so many people.
Yeah,
and the fact that I continued some of the videos on as well. Obviously, they didn't get as much views as this one did, but one of them also did. Where I was trying to flick the lights, you know, see if I can actually make the traffic light turn green, which unfortunately I didn't succeed. But no, it was quite a silly.
Yeah, someone saying that you should flash the traffic light, and I turned around and said, yeah, he did flash the traffic light, but he gave some old woman quite a big fright.
Yes, they actually responded to that and actually laughed at your comment. But no, I just can't get over it, and I still can't get over the fact how much it's blown up. I can't get over it. It is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just recently celebrated my birthday as well.
Yeah.
Getting old.
And for that, me and your missus was talking in private behind your back.
Oh.
And we surprised you with a trip to Warner Brothers Studios.
I'll tell you what, that was a good day.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. You know, you wouldn't imagine it wearing a Metallica fucking t-shirt.
Well, just look at us both. You'd never think that we're into Harry Potter. Yeah, to start off how it did, like in that theatre with the screen playing and everything. Of course, at the moment, up until September, I think it is, they're doing the Goblet of Fire, showing everything off there. But sitting in that theatre, having the screen come up and seeing the famous doors to the Great Hall, and then the doors opening to see the scenery of the Great Hall. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
It was, and I think the one bit I did enjoy was going into the train.
Yeah.
And obviously seeing how small the gangway is.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, you watch the kids on the movie and they're running past each other. How are they fitting through that? I'm fat. I'm walking sideways. I could be used as a hinge because I'm so fat.
We were having to do like a little tiny shuffle.
I could have just stick my arms out like this and gone waddle, waddle, waddle like a penguin. I still would have got stuck. But no,
I think that must have been a replica of the train. It wasn't the actual train itself.
Even still, it's good. It was cool.
Yeah.
You know. But I think even if it was the real train, you know, because they showed it on some sort of screen when we was walking around. I think could be the real train because they actually filmed some of it in the hall where we was.
Yeah.
Where the train is. Because obviously I observe everything, you know, and I see how they put the train track down. I think that is the actual train.
But the thing is, you wouldn't be able to get the like shopping cart through there. You can barely fit us through there. How are you meant to fit that shopping cart through? And
True.
Still have people go by.
Yeah, see, I still think that is the spot. So, you know, in like the first movie where he comes out of the of the wall, and he runs around to the right.
Yeah.
And then meets up with like the Weasleys or whatnot. I'm pretty sure that is the hall they filmed it in. I'm sure it is. All it takes is a bit of green screen to, you know, it's like a different world of King's Cross.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely loved going round. I thought it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and when you saw those four blokes, they were reenacting the on the Goblet of Fire. I can't remember the name of the group, but like Victor Crumb, and his guys. When they do it, that was brilliant.
That was actually 3 guys and a woman.
I saw the woman, because she was a short little dot, but the seriousness of their face was absolutely brilliant.
It was down to the wire. Pretty
I'm
much
so frustrated. My phone died.
Everything that after that they got taken was taken by me,
which I'm obviously grateful for, and obviously you was able to share all those pictures. We've had a question: would you both go back? Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
I'll probably wait until September or after, because then I can get to venture and see what they have there.
They do more stuff every time, so hell yes, I will go
Absolutely.
back. Like my mate Louise has been there a handful of times, and apparently pretty much every time she goes, they're doing something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see some of the same stuff, but there's also way more different stuff to see.
I think also having that, the experience of it was just something.
To see the props, to see the costumes used.
And you read all the stuff, like, these are the costumes the actors wore in the movie, and you're just like, I'm standing right next to it.
Yeah.
I can actually picture, obviously, Robert Pattinson or Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, standing in front of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mental.
I think one of the most funniest things that happened is when we saw Hagrid's hut.
Oh, and that bloke. He
we walked round the corner. We saw Hagrid's hut. Alan turns around and goes, yeah, look, it's Hagrid's hut. And a bloke...
He was absolutely tall.
He must have been 6'3", 6'4".
Maybe more. He was just he was tall. And you were like, oh, look, there's Hagrid.
Had a beard, bit of a gut to him. And so you turned around and went, hey, look, it's Hagrid's hut. And I turned around and went, yeah, look, it's Hagrid. It could have been a more perfect moment.
Perfect time as well. It was absolutely brilliant, and we were both crying.
Oh yeah.
Look, there's Hagrid.
Thing is, we're bursting out with laughter. There's loads of people around.
They're just looking at us, thinking, "Why are you guys laughing?" We can't tell you. No.
It's like, can you not see the difference?
Joe actually asked us if we would actually do a haunted tour together.
Oh yeah, I'd absolutely love to do a haunted tour. What I really want to do is call me crazy.
Crazy.
I knew you were going to say that. But I'm going to go to like an asylum or a really old hospital and do some of the methods there to find out what happens. And like hear all the different names, see if there's something vile there.
Yeah.
And Mike loves that stuff as well. And he could do the Estes method as well. There was your birthday dinner on Saturday.
Birthday dinner. So Saturday just gone, went out for a birthday birthday meal. Obviously, what Jill has said, beginning with C, I will address that later on.
Yeah.
Obviously, that'll be Alan's final thought.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really nice for Jill's mum and dad to invite me as well.
Well, I think
Jill actually messaged me saying that her mum has asked if I wanted to join you. So I thought that was really nice. It was really sweet, and it was actually really good to get to know them a little bit more. Like when you went off to help Jill with the whole toilet situation, me and Rose was actually talking like about our times away on holiday and our different things, and like actually getting to know each other a bit more.
Yeah.
So it was actually really nice.
Well, I think also it makes it easier for you getting to know my in-laws, my parents, because obviously you're going to be my best man for mine and Jill's wedding.
Yeah.
You know, so it's always good to have you, you know, join in with us with family outings and stuff like that, which obviously you have done in the past. You know, my mum, she fucking loves you.
Yeah.
And obviously Rose is starting to, you know, enjoy your company as well. You know, so it will make my wedding with Gillian so much easier. Obviously, knowing that you have integrated with our families.
Yeah.
And obviously we can enjoy the day more instead of wondering, oh, who's that? Oh, no, it's Alan's best friend, but we don't know him. You know, whereas now they do know you, and it will make it so much more fun. So when you do decide to do the speech,
I still haven't even started writing that yet.
well, I haven't even actually planned a date yet, so I don't even worry about writing a date, writing a speech yet. But
I do know one certain thing that I am going to say though, but I'm not going to tell you.
Good. We'll keep it as a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, I will mention now that, but I want to talk about it a bit later. So on the 21st of May, I had to go to court for access of my children. So, but unfortunately, my ex has successfully turned my children against me. So I have had to give up my access rights, which does hurt. Don't get me wrong. It's broken my heart. But at the same time, I have to focus on my mental health and the children I live with, their health as well, because they need me just as much as I need them. I think we can also agree on that. Aidan over there you've seen me my ups and downs with this whole roller coaster escapade with court and my ex, and I've just for my sanity I've had to give it up and call it a day for my life. I think as a man you are the one that's always pushed aside when you become the parent, always, and I don't mean that in a negative way. You are generally just pushed aside because the kids always want their mum first. But then after a while, it does become difficult if you are separated.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you could either have a good ex who's actually going to want you to be with your children, or you're going to have an ex like mine that always keeps pushing you away because she wants to have control of the stick. Also, for me as well, it's hard because, yes, my children do have additional needs, but they are not, how do we put it, in a nice term, in a nice context, of course, is they're not mentally challenged, okay? Unfortunately, like, you see this comment here, it's time you have your truth and get it to be put out there. So my ex accused me of a SA, which women all know what it means, which is obviously sexual assault, which did not happen. And obviously she accused me of all other stuff against my children, which was heartbreaking. And even still to this day, she tells people that I inflicted these atrocities on her, which never happened.
It's absolute bull.
I know, it is bull. And it has left me feeling shit, if I'm honest. Gillian, my partner, has stood by me even though I've been at my lowest. There was times that I wanted to call it a day. I won't say too much because obviously TikTok guidelines and all that crap. But yes, I wanted to call it a day. But I pulled through with the support of my family and Jill. My parents, Jill's parents, they all helped me. They stood by me, even though when I was suffering, they stood by me. And I think, even though how hard these times were, it doesn't change the fact of how much it still hurts. Even though I know I didn't do any of it, even when I called her out and said to her, if you really believe that I did this, let's go down the route. She didn't want to do it. And I even called her out and I was like, you really think I did this? Let's go down that route. Never happened. So what does that say?
It's calling someone out on their lies, because you've called them out on it. They're like, oh no, I don't want to do it now. And so, yeah, 'cause it's lies.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I called her out, she goes silent.
Yeah.
I am going to say it as it is. She is a narcissist.
Yeah.
And one thing narcissists hate is being challenged.
Oh, yeah.
Whether a female has to put up with a violent partner, like who's a narcissist, or vice versa, in my case.
Yeah.
A woman wants control over him. So she is a narcissist. And she did want control over me. But then she'll project her behaviour saying that I'm causing control.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's stuck up here. It is stuck up here. But now I've got to try and find a way how to amend myself from her bull.
Well, like you said before, you've got all the support around you. Your family, Jill's family. You got me with the little I can do, but I still put a smile on your face, make you laugh.
I think as well, for me, the hardest part is, yes, I have had to call the shots when it comes to court and say, look, I'm going to give up my access rights, is because where she has now successfully turned my kids against me, as horrible as it sounds, what's the point fighting for the children that I love that don't want to know me?
Yeah.
So I don't have that fight. I've been fighting against her for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
My son will be 16 in February next year. So this is how long I've been fighting with her.
Yeah.
But it's just something I can't carry on.
Oh, yeah.
But
the thing is, at the end of the day, one of the things that is going to come across is you actually try to fight for them.
Well, that's why what I'm choosing to do is I'm actually keeping all the paperwork together. And when both of my children are of adult age, I'm going to make copies of all the paperwork and I'm going to post it to them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to write a letter and say, this is why I called today. I called the shots to say, look, I'm not going to fight no more.
Yeah.
I'm giving in because this is what your mum wants. So I gave in. But a lot of people say, well done for giving in, for the sake of your kids. I didn't do it for my kids.
Did it for yourself.
I did it for me. How many dads out there in the world have suffered like I have, but unfortunately they chose to end it and have?
More than people realise.
In 2023, there was over 3,000 mental health suicides because of men not being heard in court, in family court, in fact.
Yeah.
So as I've said to my partner, I want to be the opportunist to speak up for these people.
Yeah.
And obviously I do. I've said to Jill the other day, I actually want to put my story in a magazine.
Yeah.
And so it's put out there, and obviously explain what I have felt, what I have had and what I've had to endure.
Yeah.
But I think having my side might give other men opportunity to be like, no, I'm not on my own. I can do this.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll be more successful than me. And hopefully they don't have to give up their rights, But because I've been doing it for such a long time, I have no fight left, But on the upside, after this, obviously, court hearing, I can now focus on the children that I live with. I've got, my two, Ollie and Aubrey, and I've got my youngest, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. And you know what? Actually being playful with them, we have our play fights, we have our ups and downs, just to actually see them smile, knowing that they want to be with me, it brings hope to me, knowing that I'm worthy for something.
Yeah.
And I know Jill, she likes to try and nudge me a little bit and saying, come on, go and play with them and all this and all that. But sometimes in there, I just don't have the power to.
Yeah.
My body's like, you can't.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know exactly what you're saying.
Sometimes you need to have that oomph, but in my head I just like...
in your head you're always like that.
Yeah, but on the upside, we are looking, because obviously next week Tuesday is the 1st of June.
Yep.
No, it's not.
No, next week Tuesday is the 3rd.
3rd of June, there we go. I was 2 days late. So we are going to what we go every month. The first Tuesday of every month is the comedy night, isn't it? With Billy.
Comedy and laughter.
Yeah. And we are going to talk to Billy about coming on to the next podcast.
Yeah.
Because originally he instigated this as a joke.
Yeah.
And within that joke, we took this further.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So
also,
who's laughing now?
Yeah, exactly. Also, if obviously if anyone's watching that has caused a bit of like a trigger warning, please, you can message me through TikTok. You know, send me a private message. I'll do what I can to respond. And if you are struggling, give me a shout and I'll do what I can to support you. And obviously we can work at supporting each other.
Well, if there's anyone watching this video and feels like they want to reach out, please put a message in the comments and say something, because we will reply to any comment we get, even if it's just something as simple as I'm not doing good. We will reach out. We will reply, whether it's under the YouTube channel, if it's under our own accounts, so we can like personally message you. Please reach out. Do not be afraid. Heck, I'm reaching out. I'm trying to get therapy. I'm trying to get sessions with Hertfordshire Mind. It's okay to reach out. Don't feel like you're isolated, because you're not. There are people out there that do want to help.
I think also with me, because I've also experienced the horrible side of, you know, when it comes to family court and civil matters, you know, I can relate to you, you know. So as I say, you can either reach out to me or Aidan if you watch our YouTube video. If you watch this video on YouTube, so say, please reach out to us. You can leave, like Aidan said, leave messages and comments, you know, and we will do what we can to reach out to you to help. You know, I'm a good listener. I've got massive ears. Look at that. I will hear everything you say, and I will read and obviously understand what you're suffering, right, and I will help.
All right, Dumbo.
I may look like Dumbo, but I can't fly. Literally, I put pegs on my ears and I sit there going, my kids are laughing because the pegs are literally slapping here and here. I end up with black eyes because I'm beating myself up with pegs, because I'm literally going, and I'm beating the crap out of myself with pegs. I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. So, but right, on the upside, as I say, I have gone past the whole court side of things. I will be with anyone that needs support. So will Aidan. We are all here for you, all here for ourselves. We will, as Jill says, hashtag brothers unite. You know, we will support all. We are brothers. We will support each other. I will end it on that basis of always up, never go down, always go up.
Just take a Viagra, it's all up from there.
Oh, don't stop. Listen, mate, I've had the snip. I don't need a Viagra. I'm broken. I'm coming of age.
You were always broken.
It ceased to exist now. I think for us now, it's just to focus on ourselves and obviously working with our families and actually learning to love ourselves again.
Yeah.
Because when you've got that one person, whether it's your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend that you over, you know, you're always going to have that situation where you don't...
Thanks for that. I'm going to have to cut that out.
You're welcome. You know, we'll always be there.
Yeah.
We'll always be there. What are you saying? In fact, it was because I said...
Because you said...
Oh, well. Anyways, as I say, you know, we are... we're looking at going to Jeff Dunham next month.
Yeah.
So we're going to go see Jeff Dunham on Friday the 13th, which will be very nice.
Feel better?
Girls are saying hello, Daddy. Hello.
Hello, Daddy.
So, yes, no, up, down, left, right, straight ahead, backwards. Carry on.
Feel better?
I think so. I've got ADHD. out of nowhere, I could be quiet.
Hey, look, squirrel.
Where? You know, if we see a cat in here, I'll probably start running after it. No. I do have ADHD. I'm hypo. I could be really, really quiet, and next minute I'll sit there going... That's just me. That's just me, generally. And even Jill, are you all right? No. That is my answer. I'm not all right. I'm mentally nuts. When it comes to ADHD, I am like Mentos in a Coke bottle waiting to burst open. And as soon as you just slightly... Ta-da! That's me. I'm gone. That's it.
I saw something earlier. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. But it said what to do is freeze Mentos in an ice cube and put it into someone's Coke and just wait.
I'll tell you what, I can do one better than that, right? Get baking soda, okay? Now, if you're around a friend's house and they've got a nice full pot of ketchup, okay? You put baking soda in. You pour about a tablespoon's worth. And then you shake it. You shake it like crazy and make sure they're obviously not looking. Shake it for about a minute. Put it back in the cupboard. Okay? So when they come to have ketchup, they'll open it. It goes... It comes out like a fountain. It'll go all over the ceiling, all over the walls. They will end up doing this with it because obviously panic going, oh, what's going on? You know...
So, Jill, you better watch out because Adam just gave me a new idea for when I come out.
We better put our ketchup in a cupboard with lock and key. So, but yeah.
There is actually...
I'm just thinking about when we go to Gary's.
Don't tell me. But yeah, there was this one incident years and years ago, probably like maybe 14 years ago. Was at Haven Holidays. And... my mum's ex, of course, was with him at the time, but he was in the toilet for maybe half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And of course, we're on holiday, he's going to have a beer. I shook his beer can for maybe about half hour. shaking it. I had the toilet flush, put it on the side, sit back down, comes out, sees the beer on the side, grabs it, opens it. Absolutely everywhere. And he had to go outside, but the front door was locked, so he's having to try and like sip up all the foam, trying to still fly out of the beer can. He's trying to unlock the door while sipping the beer can. He finally gets outside. The thing's still overflowing. Mate, about half the beer must have come out of that can. I shook it that much.
There we go. Right, so...
Oh, it was so funny. I can still remember the reaction to this day. It was absolutely hilarious. In all honesty, you think that's near enough a perfect time to end it then?
I think so too. I think we should call it a night. Come here. That is just fantastic.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to share the video. Again, if you want to reach out to us, put a message in the comments. We will 100% get to all the comments. You're never alone. You never will be as long as we're around. But thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much, people.